What's up everyone, Nostalgix here from Cosmic Academy, back with another video. So today I'm here to tell you guys about 5 things that I wish I would have known when I started as a DJ or producer. So starting out as an artist, it can be kind of daunting because you don't really know exactly what to do, like what's the right thing to do, is there a path, what should you be doing more of, what shouldn't you be doing. It's kind of hard to know exactly what's right and what's wrong when you don't really have that much knowledge yet of the industry and it's something that you're just starting out. So, as a lot of people starting out, you're kind of just figuring it out as you go. And that's kind of what happened with me as well. When I started out, I really knew almost nothing about the music industry. I didn't know what it meant to be an artist, what it meant to be a music producer, what it meant to be a DJ. And all this stuff I really learned along the way as I started, and I kept going and I kept going. I kept learning more and learning all the ins and outs of all these different things, whether it was producing, DJing, playing shows, all these different things that go into being an artist. It's really things that you learn along the way. So today I thought it'd be cool to sit down and tell you guys about 5 things that I wish I would have known when I started. I get so many messages from new producers and new artists asking about a lot of these topics. So I thought putting it into one video would be really useful for you guys to just get more insight and possibly change your perspective about how you see these things. Because being an artist doesn't mean being the best in the world or having the most amount of money to be able to execute these huge projects. Being an artist means so many different things, and you essentially just need to make dope art. So set yourself up to make good art. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the video. At number 1, you don't need expensive gear to get started. This is one that I come across a lot. A lot of artists say, like, I don't have money to start this. I don't have money to buy the gear that I need to make good music. And I think there's a big misconception that to make good music, you need money. Nah, that ain't it. You don't need a bunch of money to make good music. All you need to make good music is yourself, some kind of DAW, if you have a laptop with a DAW, and either a pair of headphones and monitors. If you have a decent pair of headphones, you're good. You can make music anywhere. Actually, funny story, for the first while when I was producing, I didn't even own monitors. So I would take my laptop and I would go sit down in different coffee shops with these headphones, these exact headphones. And I would just sit there and I would be learning Ableton and making music in coffee shops. And I did that so much. And to this day, I still do. Whenever I'm traveling and I have my laptop and I want to go make music, but be around people, I will go to a coffee shop and sit down with my headphones and just sit there and make music and jam out. So you really don't need an expensive studio. You don't need expensive gear to do all this. All you really need is the creativity that's within yourself and knowledge about how to actually make the music. I know it can be a bit daunting when you see these bigger artists, though, that have been doing this for a long time and that do have more established studios. You see all these crazy MIDI controllers and all these crazy synthesizers, and you think that's what you need to make music. But you really don't. You just need yourself, your DAW, and something to actually listen to the music to. That's tip number 1. The second thing that I wish that I knew when I started is that it's the final production that matters. It doesn't matter how you create a song, whether you're using samples, you're using MIDI, it doesn't matter. What matters is how it sounds at the end, because that's the final product that other people are going to be listening to. So you don't need to get so caught up in your head about whether you're using samples, if you're using MIDI. When I started producing, I thought that the right way to do it was to create all the sounds yourself. I definitely made it way harder for myself early on because I thought the right way is to basically use sound design and create everything myself. And I did that for a very long time, but eventually I learned that you don't need to create everything yourself. Samples are there for a reason. Royalty-free samples are there to help you, and they are your friend. So take advantage of them and use them and be creative with them, because there's so much that you can do with samples. There's so much that you can do with presets. There's so much that you can do with MIDI versus audio. So play around with it and have fun. The thing that really matters at the end is how the project sounds. So get creative with it and try new things. Don't be so caught on one way to do something, because there's so many different ways to do it. So play around, have fun, and crush it. Number 3, there is no right way to do it. And this, big emphasis, I really mean this one. There is really no right way to do it. As an artist, you will come across so many different forks down the road, so many different options of what you can do, and just so many possibilities. And for everyone, it's different. There's no specific path that you have to take to be successful. There's no ladder that you're like, okay, if I do this, and then I reach this, and then I'll reach this, and then I'll reach this. It's really a work in progress. There's so many different things that you can do. I kind of like to compare this to university, because if you're in university for a specific major, you do these courses that you're supposed to do, and you follow this path that's set out for you. And then once you're done, you get your degree, you get whatever it is that you wanted. Being an artist, that's very different, because it's just truly just based on what you want and the world that you create around yourself. So the path is going to be so different for everyone. So that's why I recommend to never compare yourself to other artists, because what one artist may have done here that worked for them may not ever work for you, because this artist had a completely different set of circumstances that you might not have, but you have a completely different set of circumstances, and you have different things that work in your favor. So create your own path, and don't be so caught up in what this person is doing. Just do it for yourself. Do what makes you happy. You're going to see this as a reoccurring theme with me, but I think that as an artist, the best thing that you can do is really just make decisions based on what feels right to you and follow your heart with it, because that's really all you can do. You want to create a good atmosphere and world around your music and around what you're doing, and the best way to do that is just to be genuine to yourself. So down the line, when you're looking back at all the things that you created, you're really happy with what you created because it comes from you. Everything else will fall into place, but you don't want to be following in someone else's footsteps or trying to do something because you think that it'll work. Do things because you want to and you love that. All you can really do is just set yourself up and learn and be knowledgeable and mindful about all the things that you're doing. But essentially when it comes down to it, you got to follow your heart. You got to create your own path and follow in it. All right, at number 4, this kind of ties back into what we were just talking about, but trust your style. Follow your heart when it comes to your music. See, I said it, reoccurring theme. When you're creating songs, just follow your heart. You don't have to create anything for anyone else. You don't have to think of it as something that needs to be tailored a specific way. Just sit down and make something to make it for yourself. Because down the line, when you share that song, what's going to resonate most with people is something that you created for yourself, not something that you made that you think other people are going to like. You have to make music for yourself, and once you put it out, eventually the right people will listen to it and like it. But don't make music that you don't like, because then you're just going to attract the wrong kind of style and wrong kind of attention that you don't even like or want. It's actually kind of funny. One of the first songs that I released on Nightbass was Mind Tricks featuring Way. When I sat down to make this song, I sat down with the intention of just creating. I said, I'm not putting any limits or boundaries on myself. I don't think I'd even created a song that was in the UK bass genre yet at that point. So I just sat down and I just created and I just let myself see what I can create. And I reached this state of flow where I was sitting there. I was in a coffee shop too. I was sitting in a coffee shop with my headphones and I'm just sitting there working on the song on Ableton. And within like maybe 4 or 5 hours, I had this really cool idea that I thought was just so interesting and so fun and crazy and like unlike anything I've heard before. And I loved it so much for that reason. In the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know if other people will like this because it's very different. I've never heard anything like this. So I think it's interesting. Like, I don't know if people will like it. And rest assured, when that song came out, people love that song. And it was one of my first songs to really see a lot of attention and love because end of the day, I sat down and just created what I felt was right in the moment. And that resonates. That really resonates with people. So, moral of the story is to create for yourself and create what feels right. The best thing you can do always is follow your heart. If you're making house music, but you're sitting there being like, oh, I really want to make something heavier. I want to try making dubstep. Go for it. Why not? Try it out and maybe you can find little techniques and things that you've created and then pour it back into that song and maybe you'll even end up being an innovator of something completely different. Try it out. Thank me later. Alright, so last but certainly not least, number 5 is dream big. And this is actually my favorite one. When I say dream big, I mean dream big. Like, the sky is here. Go higher. Go higher than the sky. Your limits are just a mental thing. Limits don't exist. Everything is possible and everything you can do. And history has proved itself time and time again that so many things are possible beyond our beliefs. So why not take a massive risk and go for it? Dream big. It's all possible and no dream is too crazy and too far-fetched because anything can happen. And what helps is you setting yourself up for that. Write down your goals, write down your dreams, and think about them, manifest them, and believe in yourself and know that they can really happen. If you really dream and you believe that it's going to happen, things will work out in your favor because manifestation is real. So sit down, start writing out your goals and start thinking about what you want. Start picturing it and believing and knowing that you're capable of it because honestly, you are. If someone else can do it, why can't you? That is something for you all to think about. I remember when I started out, I had like a little board of just different goals and things that I really wanted to reach in my career. And I ended up reaching those within maybe like the first year that I was really taking music seriously. And as soon as I reached those, I was like, whoa, like, I did that. Like, I looked at that board every single day when I was making music, and it all happened. Like, it all became true. And I sat down and I started making myself a bigger list. And every year, those would all happen. Because one, I was visualizing those things. 2, I was believing that I was capable of doing those. When I looked at those, I didn't think, oh, that's for someone else. I looked at those dreams and I was like, that's for me. And I'm gonna reach that and I'm gonna hit that. And I did. And I continued to do that. And as you develop and you grow as an artist, those dreams are only gonna get bigger and bigger. So sit down and think about the things that you really want to do and think about how you can get there and what you can do for yourself to really set yourself up for success as an artist. Because there's just so many possibilities of things that you can do. Case in point, dream big, reach for the stars, and believe in yourself. Anyways, this has been Nostalgix from Cosmic Academy. I hope you all really enjoyed watching this video because I really enjoyed making it. Make sure to go follow Cosmic Academy on everything at Cosmic Academy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone. Have a beautiful day.